Welcome everyone, this is John from Southern Cross Online. Today we're going to be looking at a game called Anno 2070. It's a real-time action game. It's a real-time as opposed to turn-based. I really enjoy the game, so let's have a look at it and see how we go. We'll start with a new game. Select a continuous game. There are other ones, other missions you could do, sort of thing. However, I do like the continuous game, and I basically did that first up, after reading the forums about the game. So once you do continuous mode, then I would suggest you actually click on game settings, click on map size, down here it had map size just there, and select large game world. I usually do that, as I do with most games, usually pick the biggest map size so that if there's, as in most games there usually is conflict, it'll give me, the game will at least give me more time to learn how to play the game before I have to fight in the game, as such. As for faction selection, I think I usually pick Eden Initiative. I'm not sure exactly on that, how that affects gameplay, but yeah, I usually pick that one. So let's jump into it and click start mission.
Locating island.
Okay, as with any game that we normally play, the hardest bit is working out the interface initially, I find. I'm not sure if you guys have the same problem. Okay. Alright, to explain the game simply, as this is more of an overview, this is our ARK, A-R-K. It's kind of our starting base. We don't actually tend to use it for much. We can order things from it. However, it does have the ability, if we start other characters or other games, that we can have things like this. This is a technology that I researched in a different game, one of my earlier games. This is also a technology that I researched. So you can actually store research technology on here, which has quite nice bonuses, and actually carry that from the game to game, which is really good. This game, I guess, very briefly described, would be essentially like a town building game or city building game. It is lots of fun, as mentioned. It isn't turn-based, it is actually real-time. So while we're sitting here talking about how to play the game, the opponent AI are actually starting to build their bases. So to move ships around the place, you left click on them and then you right click where you want them to go. Okay, so that's there. The main materials that we use to build buildings in the city are building modules and tools. Fish is basically food for the people. To keep the people alive, they need food, water, things like that. We'll show that as we go. Now we can build a warehouse. A warehouse basically colonizes an island for the first time. So you only have one warehouse on each island that you own. Basically, you own it when you when you build the warehouse on it. So we'll build the warehouse there. That's it. Used up that building modules, that tools. Actually, no, it didn't. It used up some of the building modules, maybe one or two, some of the tools, but it transferred, yep, all the items over to there. So all the items that were on the ship are now in that warehouse. So we want to start building things. What we do is we go to the construction menu, which is the house. We click on that. Okay. Now the very first building that we're going to build is a city centre, which is where all the people live. As it says, creates a construction area for houses. Each building, as we can see there, see, I can't move the cursor without it disappearing on the toolbar, but it takes 600 credits, 3 tools, and 5 building modules to build this city centre. To maintain it, there is a maintenance cost on all the buildings. It's got up, see to the right of where it says city centre, that text, it's got like a bar graph of -10, so it takes 10 credits every however time it is, I'm not exactly sure. And it also takes 1 electricity unit or energy unit. So we're going to build that. Now we want to try and build it where there's a lot of space for houses. So we'll build it there. Alright, so it took 600 credits, 5 building modules and 3 tools to build that. If we don't want to build anymore, we just right click on that if we're using the mouse. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to build houses. We need worker barracks. Now the houses, we have quite a lot of credits at the moment, 48,000, however it is going down. This is our wealth balance, 48,000 roughly. Our maintenance is on building and military. The military is basically that boat, that warship, is already at -50, so it's constantly going down. This is licenses. They're used to, as it says, to buy items or develop technologies. They usually can buy some really nice stuff on it. The resources on this island are listed here. We've got tea, we've got rice, we've got coffee, and this question mark means we can add another fertility or another seed at a later time. We'll see how that works a bit later. Now we have a slight energy surplus of 5. We have a stable eco balance. This is really important, this eco balance. If it goes negative, then we're going to have potentially very nasty environmental problems like tornadoes. And these aren't just normal tornadoes. They have like a homing button on them that says go for the island with the most negative in terms of ecological value. This, I guess, could be called that, ecological. So that tornado will actually appear close, possibly at one side of the map, but it will home in on any islands with negative ecological conditions. So watch out for that. Definitely. Okay, I've had that happen before. It didn't destroy many places or buildings, but yeah, it was quite a worrying sort of thing. Okay, now one of the first things we're going to find out is very soon, this is our eco workers. And this is another one. We want to build some roads. The workers need roads to join the houses to the city centre. We also need a road. So click on the house symbol. We also need a road joining to other buildings such as the warehouse. Alright, now, yeah, as I mentioned, we are going to find something happening very soon. We are going to run out of building modules and we are going to run out of tools. I'm going to run out of both of them. I've tried a few games, so I ran out of those things.
Communication systems online.
Ah, okay. Again, this must have been carried from a previous game that I've had. I actually stored some tools on there and some building modules. And that does, thinking on it now, I do seem to remember possibly doing that. So we left click on the ship to select the ship, we right click on the destination to where we want to go.
Registering mainland.
Okay, there you go, we're right next to another island. However, this island actually looks quite small. So we still made the right decision populating this island just above. Now we left click on the arc. If we left click on the
I am
transfer
at
building
your
modules,
service.
straight away they'll go into the nearest ship. So when we're transferring things from ships and to warehouses, or those transferring anything from a ship or to a ship, make sure that ship is closest to that other place that we're transferring stuff from. If it isn't, it'll pick the closest ship and transfer it to there, whether we want it to or not. So there's another 40, there's another 20 tools, and there's another 24 modules. So that's good. So left click and right click on that, get that boat there. Okay, so we are going to want fisheries. Excellent. So we have a harbour area. I think when we build the warehouse, it creates a harbour area, which is this light coloured circle. I'm pretty sure that's a harbour area. So we'll left click on the ship here, left click on these modules, left click on the tools. Okay, so we've storage capacity exceeded. We can actually expand that later, but we can build, a depot. A depot is different from a warehouse. So you can only build one warehouse per island, as we mentioned. They can build a ton of depots. The other thing is we do want the depot near, for example, this mining area. See how the icon's flashing? With the sort of, it looks like coal on a mining cart or something like that. When it's flashing big and small like that, that means it's within range and we can build stuff to extract that resource. Alright, excellent. So we click on that. Okay, we don't... How I usually build the housing and around the city centre is I usually like only houses around it. Because this has a limited range, and maybe I shouldn't have built it right there. It should have been slightly outside of this range. But maybe I wouldn't have been able to build it. But yeah, normally I have rows of houses, 2 rows of houses, then a road. So that's fine, we can access that resource there. Left click to display an overview of the resources. So in addition to these above ground resources, which are like tea, rice, coffee, and another one which we can determine what's in there, and we can maybe look at that later. The underground resources are basically coal, iron, limestone, copper, uranium. There are other minerals under the ground, but this is the ones that this island specifically has. So if we want other minerals, then we'll need to find an island that has those listed. As you can see, we're still going down in wealth. It's minus 28 maintenance. What I find is that building houses does increase the income that we get from them. So rather than this being higher, we have a tax income from our houses of plus 27. So that's actually offsetting the maintenance of the buildings and the warship, military ships. However, they are going to run out of food, the people, pretty soon. So we'll put in some fishing places. We can actually put them out in the harbour if we want. However, effectively a drone has to pick them up if we do. If we put them just by, say example, just by the side like that, then we can actually join them by a road and then also join this by a road And there's a little truck that actually comes out of this depot and can go to these ones as well to pick up the food. So you can see now the food's starting to be done, and this guy's sending out a drone and also a truck. So I guess that's with the warehouse.
Game save.
It has a drone, or it has 2 transports. This one doesn't seem to be doing much at the moment. Okay, the basics of the population here is that I've started with the Eden Initiative, which I think basically
We've made the
starts
best
as
of the situation, thanks to you.
Eco first. I think the other one that we can pick is Tycoon, which is the other one, not the Eden Initiative on the character creation screen. But whatever that other one was, I can't remember the name of it. Then I'm pretty sure we start with Tycoon as our first population thing. Alright, so let's see what the population wants. The
Isn't it
population
gorgeous,
have
Ed?
enough food.
Oh, life can be so good.
There's only a few of them, and they've got enough fish. That's a fish. They have needs. These are the needs. So they have a need for food. They have a need for community. They have a need for drink, and they have a need for activity. Now, if these needs are all met, they'll actually, each house will eventually scale up one. So this is like eco workers at the lowest grade of population for eco workers. Maybe say level 1.
Honestly, without you,
If we provide
never would've
all
made
these
it this
needs,
far.
or satisfy all these needs, rather, then we can actually, the houses will start to upgrade to level 2 eco workers. We'll build more houses. As I said, normally I tend to build rows of 2. I just find it's easier. I like to build 2 rows of houses and then a road. I find that it still gives enough housing density and still gives every house access to a road. Every house needs to be able to have a road between that it can access to go to the community centre. We want to build T, but to gain access we need 60 eco workers.
Additional
Excellent, we just
buildings
got 60
now
eco workers.
available.
So now we can build a tea farm. So we'll click on that one. We can zoom in a bit if we want to, if it's hard to see. Then we left click on it, and now we have to actually create or place the tea harvest areas for the farm. Alright, so there is 3 of them, and this will start producing tea. So that's that done. However, we also need to join it with a road. And the road from the house needs to go to one of the depots. So we could actually build the road possibly up there. However, I don't know if this depot is actually gonna... It looks to be chilling quite there, just relaxing. There's our warship, there's our fishing boat, there's our fishing boat. Say little drones. The graphics are quite nice in this game. Yeah, even zoomed up. When we're zooming up, usually, or well, it would require more detail. They've actually done the detail quite nicely. When you zoom up, it looks nice. The game really looks nice. And when you zoom out, it still looks okay. Let's see what the people are doing again. Alright, they're starting to ask for drink. One of the things is we've got 1 tea farm, and this bar is going up. As long as that bar is going up, that's nice. If it is going down, then people will start, again, the residents will start to complain a bit. they need more drink. And yeah, so that is going up, so that's nice. What's this? Required at 144 workers. How many workers have we actually got? 112. Alright, so the population is 112 out of 112. So 14 to a house. So if we want 144 win, again, we need to build more houses. So what we'll do, however, look at this. This is really nice. This is plus 15. So our wealth is actually going up a bit, which is great. Alright, good. So we'll build more houses. Alright. How I normally build it is I normally build exactly like this. I build that row of houses. I build the road. And then I usually build another row of houses next to it. As we get more houses though, we're going to need more tea farms. So we can do that as well. Remember how we had a slight surplus in terms of energy? It was +5, now it's 0. Usually it's taken up by this tree plantation. It takes 1 electricity point or 1 energy point. This one takes 1 energy point and 5 wealth. But yeah, so we do need to actually have a wind park. Wind parks will take minus 25 credits, but it'll actually give us 15 power. So we do have to do that, put that in. The other thing is, and this is quite important, is that each of them have like a radius. Each of these energy generation things, plant, wind farm, has a radius around it. So just have to be careful. If the radius of one wind farm overlaps the radius of another one, the energy produced is actually less. So it took 120 credits, 1 building module, 1 tools. So that's there. The building that is often used to research technologies, like really nice stuff, is actually in a different tree, which is the tech
Additional
tree.
buildings now available.
Excellent. We have expanded construction options. Now on the left we'll see all these little notifications when things happen. If we don't want that, we just right click on it and that will go away. So right click, right click, right click, and right click. Eco employees. So this is like the level 2 of an eco resident. They're actually called eco employees, whereas the other one is called eco workers. And that one even advanced the level, which is really nice. To advance the level though, it actually cost 1 tool. One of the main things, and these eco employees, like the level up, actually have the needs that of the previous lower level eco people, but also 2 additional needs. The need for information and the need for lifestyle. I reckon we need another depot here somewhere. Let's put one there. This depot then can take care of these fisheries. Otherwise, a lot of the time the fisheries won't be doing anything. That's all. Now, as we mentioned, how many... Alright, so this is our warehouse. This is our depot. Yeah. So regardless of where we click, whether it's a depot here, or a warehouse here, or a depot somewhere else, this is our full inventory for the whole of this island. We can actually increase the warehouse, we'll upgrade it. I think possibly we will upgrade it. We just have to be very careful that this wealth keeps going up, that's all. And we want to learn, as we said, one of the two main things we'll run out really quickly is building modules and tools. So we have to try to make them. Alright, these are other items that we can make, and we'll go through them soon. Now, yeah, so this is kind of I guess a tutorial just to how to start the game, the basic movements of it. Also with the eco employees, they can actually build different things. So the eco workers, I think they can only basically build these items, but the eco employees, they can build different things. One of the most important things that we're going to look at is tools. Now to build tools, it tells us what we need. We need an iron ore mine, a coal mine, an iron smelter, and the tools workshop. The other thing we need is that eco weather control station to make this go from -2 up to something. Otherwise we're going to be in a lot of trouble with environment stuff.
Game saved.
Tornadoes or other environmental hazards. So I've got over there. Have we got any more building modules? No, we don't.
Awaiting your orders.
Alright, well I'm going to buy more. As I said, normally we run out of this very quickly. I'm going to buy 40 tons at 2,000 credits. Do you wish to buy? Yes.
Your order has been confirmed.
Alright, so that'll take a little while and we'll get them picked up. First we want tools. So let's start with an iron ore mine. It's built on a mine site. And good. So there's our iron ore mine.
Ordered goods.
Wow, that was
Already
quick. I wasn't
collected.
expecting it that quickly. Order received. Excellent. So again, we go to this one. We want to build roads. We have to build a road from it to the depot. Otherwise, this will mine up to this will mine up to whatever it mines up to, maybe 5 ore or something. And that'll be it. It won't do anything. I think to build modules... No? Okay, we don't need to have a mine site for that. I have looked at trade routes. Trade routes are very important because as we progress in the game, what will happen is we'll colonize 2 islands. So we'd have a ship, a warship here. We'd pick up items from a depot or a warehouse or a depot on this island where the vegetables are being brought in because we have vegetable farms there. We then move them by ship to this area and we put it in the warehouse. If we had to do that manually all the time, it would take away time for us doing other things like fighting pirates or something like that. So what you can do is you can set up a trading route, click on new trading route. You basically click on the station that you want. So add station. We've got Green Acres. So then we would click. If we wanted it to actually deposit things from this island to this island, we would have another station here. We would have this island as the other station. And we would do load. And once we do load, we would get a bunch of items which we could load on there. And then we would put the other station and we would do Green Acres. And we would do offload. And then we could select whatever we're offloading. Then we would just click add ship and then we'd select Onyx. And what will happen is that ship will go from this island. It'll pick up vegetables, for example,
Additional
off this
buildings
island.
now
It will go
available.
there and it will deposit into the warehouse vegetables. Then it will go back to this island, pick up more vegetables, then go back there and deposit more vegetables. Now that we've had a look at beginners sort of game in Anno 2070, it'd be nice to look at, I think, a game that we've already started. So let's load a game and have a quick look at that. Now this is what our game will look like after a while. So we've seen it as we just start the game itself and get onto very basic sort of elements of the cities and the resource extraction, those sorts of things. However, now let's have a bit of a look at a larger city. So we'll start mission. There we go. Okay, so we can see here. Alright, this is already zoomed out, so that's fine. Now let's have a look at this island. This island is the island that I first started on. As you can see, it's got a city centre here. There's a city centre. There's another city centre here. And the cities, you can actually tell they're up to eco-engineers. Eco-engineers is like level 3. If level 1 is eco-workers, level 2 is eco-employees. The third level is eco-engineers, which is there. These guys, you can produce more different items. They also have different needs. Again, this one has participation. This is a tech island. I pretty much have one with the eco. That's an eco island with all the eco workers, and this island I've made for the tech workers. As you can see, researchers. This one is lab assistants. I think lab assistants is level 1. Then researchers is level 2. Alright, now this is the academy. The academy is quite useful. As you can see, we're producing this. Improves all weather control stations, reduces the area of influence, so there's less overlap. This is our laboratory. Just two things that are really important on this: emergency equipment. This always have at least one of these produced, because you use them on an oil rig. Very important to have that. The second thing is effluent pump. This is used to clean up a polluted coast. Well, I hope you liked this gameplay video, and I hope you guys have a great day.